Good evening. This is Benedict Forsyth with a news roundup by the TRIAC Chronicle of the latest Aether recordings in the news at the moment, keeping you informed in even these darkest of times. First tonight, our main story. Within the last few hours, we have received confirmed reports of a large fleet of Imperial Eastern Union Aether ships entering RAP airspace and engaging the flank of the Martian offensive in Central Australia. This unprecedented move has, it seemed, turned the tide in the battle. The fleet has decimated the Martian right, and we have had reports that over 20 Martian battlewalkers are burning on the desert floor. The mood in the field is reported as being jubilant by the forces of the RAP on the ground, and a major offensive has begun by the Australian centre to push the Martian infantry forces deep into the red zones from whence they came. This reporter is more than a little emotional at the news, which is still alas marred by the loss of Princess Catherine and the Resolution. There is still hope, however, as we have information coming in that Commodore Stewart, thought lost and killed, has been recovered by a team of RAP loyalists who are still searching the Redback for any signs of the Princess. Shadowing this seeming victory of humanity over the alien, however, is the current political shouting by the FAU and the Commonwealth regarding the flagrant breaking of international law by the IEU in crossing, and some suggest the following effective invasion of sovereign soil by a foreign power as the Union forces came to the aid of the RAP. We will, I think, continue to see the ramifications of this for some time and await the response of both TRIAC and the Australians upon this point of international law. With military strategists suggesting that the battle for the Redback should, with continued IEU aid, be over in a matter of days, we ask you, citizens of the world, is this claim justified? Should we allow the law to be broken so flagrantly, or should it be changed for the good of all? Indeed, questions that we will continue to ask here at the Chronicle as events unfold. The disease in the Mongol steppes has reached worrying contagion levels. The lower steppes have, it seems, been ravaged by the plague, and whole villages have been consumed and put to flame by the Mongol leaders in an attempt to stop the spread. What is causing the hideous wasting disease is still unknown. Many sources have tested samples and concluded that this is a new, heretofore unknown strain of flu that has been given the name crimson flu due to the red flush of the skin and the eventual vomiting of blood that occurs before painful death over the course of 1 or 2 weeks, dependent on the strength of the victim. Sources from the city of Pearls state that they are still working tirelessly to find a cure and will not stop till the Mongol people are free of this horrible affliction. The eminent archaeologist Claude René Fontaine has announced that he is to begin an undertaking to uncover information on the so-called Da Vinci vaults that were referenced in a previous report in the Chronicle by the Bembridge scholars. Monsieur Fontaine has dismissed allegations that he is attempting to gather any artifacts for his own personal collection, and insists that he is doing this for a purely humanitarian cause. Upon further questioning, Monsieur Fontaine gave us this quote: "This discovery is too important to leave to the dullards at TRIAC. They may be very good at what they do for the war and in the field of intelligence and innovation, but when it comes to the pursuit of historical and archaeological investigation, I'm afraid they are sorely lacking. You just have to look at who they have as their expert in antiquity. Dr. Herbert Maitland has never been the foremost in his field, and you should know that I, Dr. Claude René Fontaine, will always come out on top. I will find the vaults without the help of TRIAC and Dr. Maitland, and reveal the contents to the world." Scathing words indeed from the eminent archaeologist. Dr. Maitland was unavailable for comment regarding this issue due to being on pressing duties in preparation for the latest TRIAC excursion. The Federated American Union has recently reported that there have been some worrying sightings of heightened redweed activity on their northern border with Canada. It seems that ranger units have detected an area of concentrated weed growth that seems to be exhibiting a strange and concerning amount of red zone radiation, and growth rates have quadrupled in the last month, with the weed itself being worryingly active. We have been unable to get any more information on this phenomenon, but we will keep you appraised of any further updates. More news on the so-called Scottish problem has come to light today. The Commonwealth of Britannia, eager to seemingly downplay the situation, have recalled their troops from the Scottish borders earlier this morning and issued the following statement. The Commonwealth will no longer spend its vital resources on a petty and pointless civil war when the world is at risk of annihilation. The Scottish people should think long and hard about the decisions they are making and understand that the ramifications of this treason will be felt long after the Commonwealth is free of Martian aggression and tyranny. We will take the moral high ground in this conflict and attempt to make the first gesture in a process that will stop bloodshed and end this war before it truly begins. We invite the Highland Brotherhood to do the same. Shortly after this message was issued, a representative of the Brotherhood sent this to the Chronicle. We expect nothing less from the tyrannical cowards that have oppressed and subjugated our lands for centuries. Scotland is free from you now and will always remain so. If you wish to begin talks, then we accept your offer, but we will do so on neutral ground and call on TRIAC to assist in doing so. We await the replies of our erstwhile oppressors and the Adventurers Club. Long live Scotland, long may she be free. And now we wait to see if TRIAC will answer the call of what seems to be a non-member nation requesting mediation. Exciting times that we live in. The Madagascar conflict has taken a turn this week, and we see the forces of the Commonwealth and Australia beginning to gain ground in the fight. The Martian offensive has all but stopped, and the ground is being won back by both nations. It is rumoured that a number of Martians have been captured by the Commonwealth forces, and we await more information on this thrilling news story. And finally this afternoon, we have been asked to give special mention to the Rosemary Arkwright Detective Agency for their work in the tireless investigation and apprehension of a number of Commonwealth traitors over the last few months. In light of a number of very concerning defections from the Commonwealth, which we might have been denied by the Admiralty, Mrs. Arkwright has not stopped in her quest to track down the capture of these traitorous blackguards. This is the latest triumph in a long line of success stories from Mrs. Arkwright, who was also instrumental in the investigation which led to the end of the Spring Heel Jack murders some months ago. Well done to you, Mrs. Arkwright. You are an inspiration to all Commonwealth citizens, and the Admiralty commends you. That's it. That is the end of the compilation of the news stories from the last few weeks. This is Benedict Forsyth, signing off for the TRIAC Chronicle. Good night, and keep listening.